all they really want to do is try and promote Jack Kirby. And this is the charter to illustrate the scope of Kirby's multifaceted career, communicate the stories, inspirations and influences of Jack Kirby, celebrate the life of Jack Kirby and his creations, and build understanding of comic books and comic book creators. And I promise you that's the only bullet pointed slide in the presentation. I'd like to apologise for it now. Just a few things the Kirby Museum have told me about. They're doing a digital archive. They're actually at the ImageCon in California today, which is the same day as this one, scanning Kirby work. So they try and find people that have Kirby originals, a bit like Kirby amnesty. So there's a lot of Kirby work out there that's stolen and unaccounted for. And if anyone has an original piece of Kirby art, they go in and they get a scan from the museum digital archive. Because Kirby drew for decades and decades, and he was very prolific and very quick at drawing. But a large percentage, I think some people say like 60 to 65% of all Kirby's original art is either lost or stolen. So there's a lot of it out there that the museum really wants to try and capture as much of it now while it still can. So there's a lot in private collections that people carry to the way. The problem with original art is if you steal it, then everyone knows you've got it if you try and sell it, because they're all one-offs. So sometimes when things are got by nefarious means, they end up in people's private James Bond layer island vaults, and no one sees them again. So if anyone here owns an island that's full of Jack Kirby art, you could see me afterwards.
But at the time, why would anybody want to keep these things? They were in comics, they were just trash.
Back in the day, they were thrown in skips, weren't they?
Sliced,
wouldn't it be great to travel back in time and go in the wheelie bin behind Marvel and root through it, because apparently it was thrown out. And there's a lot of stories about people pinched up in the Marvel offices, but I'm not going to name names. But yeah, it wasn't, the value wasn't attributed to it, was it? It wasn't even given back to the artists a lot of the time. It was just scanned and chucked, which is terrible. But a lot of it's out there, and the idea is to get a digital archive. And if you join the museum, you get a password and a username, and you can log on and look at some of the work they've got. They're also doing a documentary with Montilla Pictures, who made Will Eisner, portrait of a sequential artist, and that's in pre-production now. The big thing though that they're really concentrating on at the moment is trying to get a bricks and mortar museum. The Kirby Museum itself doesn't exist as a physical entity. They do conventions and they do the occasional like week show and things. They did a show at a restaurant in Manhattan a few months ago. It's now finished. But the bricks and mortar campaign is trying to set up what they call a pop-up museum. A pop-up as in it's not permanent, but it would have a residence of about 3 months initially. And the scouted locations on the Lower East Side, Kirby used to live on Suffolk Street. No one's shaking their head, so yes, that's where he lived. Don't check. And it was a grim area when Kirby lived there. It was like a council estate. You know, it was really nasty, and Kirby got his family out of there as quickly as possible. But now it's a really cool place to live, and it's full of galleries and restaurants, and it's a really appropriate place. If there's no Kirby museums in the world, to have the first Kirby museum, and that's what I'm sat down there trying to plug that and raise funds for it. So if you are rich, essentially.
Surely the wrong people are doing this. There's people with property that will just, like you're saying, all these film stars.
No, absolutely, and that's really why the Kirby Museum has said, look, no one else is doing this. There's people, yeah, should be. There's rich people, there's famous people, there's influential people, there's people that work for Kirby that are still around.
I mean, Nicolas Cage should waiver a day's salary and
yeah.
pay for it.
Well, you know, if you know Nicholas,
exactly.
And you could
get Jonathan Ross,
you could give him my say Paul Russ at Cardiff.
Well, he used to live in Bath, didn't he?
I mean, we are hoping that we'll get a patron of the arts, someone that's prepared to give a chunk to the museum. And I'm looking at like naming exhibits, maybe having a gallery room named after that person. There should be a Kirby museum. I think there should be. Who thinks there should be a Kirby museum? Oh, bless you. I don't know if that's just sympathy though, but thank you very much. So it's a worthy cause, and one I'm trying to contribute to. I think I'm nearly done. Isn't that a great picture of Backpack Jack Kirby? It's in there for no other reason that I've never seen it before, and it's fantastic. I hope it's not photoshopped.
Oh.
Great. So, yeah, Stan's here.
As you said, Stan's down in London now, saying he drew all this.
Probably is. Stan's probably retconning
Alzheimer's
the
has
past
set in and
he's
he's
Jack Kirby's dad, and yeah, he's responsible for it all. So I'm not just a I'm not just a fan. I'm a fan. And I don't just like Jack Kirby. I love Jack Kirby. And as a writer and a performer and someone that's into the arts, even though I don't draw comics, I'm so influenced by him. I'm so influenced by his ideas and creativity. And you know, I really love it. Not in a bad way. In a wholesome way.
In a stalking.
Yeah. Not in a hiding in his gardens kind of way. Yeah. So I'll be sitting at a table next to this gentleman here, John Watson, for the next 2 days. Please come and say hello to me and ask any questions. And ideally bring a credit card with you, because I've got a laptop set up where you'll be able to join the Kirby Museum. And you can either join for, I think it's $40 for a year's membership, and you can choose a lithograph or a poster from a list on the museum site, and it's a PayPal subscription, so you remain a member and the money goes every year. Or you can just donate whatever you like to the bricks and mortar fund. If you've got a PayPal account, you can do it in seconds. I'll even help you type your password in. Or if you want to write your password down for me, then that's fine as well.
PIN number of the card if you walk into Barclays.
So yeah, just want some help listening really, and thank you very much for listening. And remember, no, I've got a last line that someone gave me. If you don't know Kirby, you don't know Jack. See what I did there? Oh, the Jack Kirby box. Now this is exciting. I thought that was good. This is brilliant.
This isn't about a movie.
No, it's not. No. This is a box that represents every stage in Jack Kirby's career. It's got a Jack Kirby collector. It's got some Captain Victory. It's got some 2001. It's got the Lost Fantastic Four story. It's got a Spider-Man USB lamp.
Wow.
That I just didn't want. And it's got a copy of the Jack Kirby documentary, Storyteller. Now, because of the people that have arrived, the thing I had planned is going to take about 3 seconds. Because what I was going to say was that a recent article said that children from the age of 5 onwards start to choose the heroes and their influences. Because they go through that period in life where they like Rasta Mouse. Rasta Mouse is sat next to you, that's it. But they like kids TV, and then you mature, and at 5 you start to look into and notice things from the adult world and start to form the things that you love. And my hope was to try and indoctrinate a child and give them this box of Kirby. Now there are only 2 children here, so congratulations, you've won the box of Kirby, whether you want it or not. Any questions? Any questions about the CIA?
No, I was going to ask.
I'm scared of your questions. You know more than me.
No. What's the name? What's the name of the artist that draws draws Godland or something?
Oh, Godland, Tom Scioli. I know Tom, lovely bloke.
You know him?
He's doing something else now. I can't remember what it is.
So
But he draws very like Kirby.
Cardiff, but also you say,
he's a massive Kirby fan.
Obviously, yeah.
As you can tell.
There's a couple of guys.
I think there might be a Godland in there actually.
Shaky, he rips off of
Shaky Kane, Lostock, a guy called Lostock, does some lovely Kirby. So yeah, there are a few. But that's kind of one interesting thing about Kirby's style. It's very unique, and everyone drew in the Kirby style in the city. They were told to, weren't they? But now you don't, even though he's influenced so many people, you don't really see that many artists that draw like Kirby.
Wow.
That's because of computers.
Well, computers are spoiled.
They have, because the computers say yes when they want an arm, and the computer gives
That's
them
when
an
your
arm.
back cover falls off.
They don't have a choice of styles.
No, it should be a Kirby.
Yeah, it should be a Kirby.
Once Photoshop gets a Kirby filter, we'll see an explosion. Kirby art.
Might be a good idea.
Well, yeah, Tom Scioli is a name worth looking out. Godland was alright. Yeah, it was. You could look at it and think it was Kirby.
Do you think if you'd have asked those kids if they knew who Siegel and Schuster were, they'd have known the answer?
No.
I mean, is the problem that all these people have been great and we just have never credited them because at the time you didn't credit who was drawing or doing the comics being the problem? Do you see what I mean?
I do.
Whereas today you own your image.
It's
and
a fair point, but I think that the point I want to hammer home is that Siegel and Schuster, great, but they were like 17 when they did Superman, possibly younger actually. And that was pretty much it. You know, they never really had much success.
Well, the argument is they invented the superhero, isn't it? Do you see what I mean?
Well, Superman was originally a bad guy, wasn't he? He was like a strong man, and he
Yeah.
evolved over time. So I think it's unfair to say, really, that they invented Superman. There's a lot of things we associate with Superman.
Well, only in as much as the
weren't
first
them.
story put him down as a bad guy, wasn't it?
My point about Kirby is, 1937, he started working. He invented romance comics, and he had like 10 or 12 periods of immense success. And the test of time is that 2012 slide there. How many Siegel and Schuster movies are there this year?
well, they've got one coming out in
There's one.
213, haven't
Yeah,
they?
there's one
The
next
Superman
year.
film.
How many-
But you have
how
had
many
5
Kirby-
already, you know.
How many
So
Kirby influenced movies are out there?
Yeah.
10, 15. So if you're only going to hear of one person that drew comics, I think it should be Kirby. If you have to pick one, and unfortunately, it's not.
There was that fellow the other year though, that Hergé bloke. He's quite famous.
Hergé's Adventures. Yeah, he got his name at the start of the cartoon, didn't he? But you know, you do. So what did you say at that? No, never mind. I think it was just a comment.
The problem with Jack.
Okay, I've got to finish.
we've got to finish.
Yeah, sorry. The next person's coming. Well, thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
cheers,
Round of applause,
Ralph.
Jack Kirby.